Hi guys, it's Shauna, and today on my table I have a bunch of different items that you could use with your children for Valentine's Day activities. So I'm going to quickly go through all of the little activities I came up with. Maybe you can get some ideas of things to do with your children. So first up, I'm just going to show you this one first. I picked up this package of balloons. They're red and pink, and they're supposed to be heart-shaped. So now, I picked them up just so we could blow them up and, throw them around. Picked them up from some discount dollar store. We blew one up, and it's not actually heart-shaped, but that's okay because you can actually use any red or pink balloons, and it's a fun activity because you can just toss them around with each other, play some games with them. So I picked those up for my son. If your child is not scared of balloons, then balloons are a fun activity to play with, and they're also fun if you rub them on your head, and they, you can do a static electricity activity with those. So thought those were fun. Now keep in mind, all these activities are for, you would have to do them with your children as the age of your child, age appropriate. If you have small children, they put things in their mouths, and some of these activities might not work for you, but I thought I would just share a whole variety of different activities. So up next are these little containers from Dollarama. They had candy in them, and I thought I could get my son just to match them because the lids are different from the base, so he actually has to find the base and the right lid and match them to line them up to actually close them. So I just took out a couple of those so he can match those up. Up next, I thought this would be a fun game. You could play this one with the older kids maybe too. It's just a basic deck of cards, and I thought the game could be is you lie all these cards out on a table or on the ground, flip them all over and play like a memory game, and at the end of the game, whoever has all the most cards with hearts on them is kind of the winner of the game. So I thought that would be fun. Also, you could have your kid just go through the deck and find all the heart cards if it's a younger child. So I thought that'd be a fun game. Up next are these pop balloons. Now, if you haven't seen these are Whack-A-Packs. I picked up these ones. They were 6 for $1.98 at Walmart. And what they are these little packages. I'm going to pop one on camera to show you what they do. But basically, you lay them on a flat surface, and you punch them, and then a little balloon pops out. And these happen to be Valentine's Day themed ones, so I picked them up. They're great for showing like cause and effect experiments. So I'll just show you what happens when you punch one. So they just kind of expand. I don't know if you can hear that noise. Sorry, it takes a minute. Sorry, I didn't actually get the balloon popping out on camera. It kind of took a little bit too long. But this is the little balloon you get out of the package. I believe I have a video about my Dollar Tree haul where I bought some other ones like these, and I think there's a clip on there of me popping one of these if you want to check out how they actually work. But anyways, I just thought I would share these little balloons. They're just little small balloons that you can also toss around and play some games with. So I'll show you some more activities. This next item I have here is a little sensory bin I made for my son. So this is a little ice cube tray that I picked up at IKEA. It's heart-shaped. So I made all these little heart-shaped ice cubes for my son to play with. That's all. It's a cool little sensory activity. I added some penguins to it because most penguins tend to pick one mate for life and stick with that one partner. So I picked just the penguins so you can play with these. These also, we tried it already last night, which I didn't get on camera, obviously, because my son was in the bath. But I dyed them red with some food coloring, and I threw them in the bath, and he kind of liked that because changed his bath water red. So, anyways, I just thought I would share this little sensory activity with you. So up next is just like a little art activity you can do with the kids. So just get any kind of Valentine's Day stickers from the dollar store. And stickers are a great fine motor skill, just like peeling the stickers and sticking them on something. So you could just get some cardstock like this and just give your kid a piece of paper and just use stickers to decorate his own little, Valentines for their friends or family members. So that's just a quick little activity you can do with children. This is a little love bug that I cut out for my son. So I just kind of made a shape out of craft paper, like a little bug. Then he glued on some googly eyes, and then he used some stamp markers from IKEA and some stickers, and he just decorated and made his, a little love bug. So it's cute. And he also drew on it, looks like, with his pencil crayons. So that's a fun little art activity you can do with your children. Little love bug. Also, I have with these stamp markers, I took this cardstock and I drew like a simple pattern for my son. So it's like a circle. I used this stamp here from Dollar Tree. So I just did like circle, heart, heart, circle. And then this one I did flower, flower, heart, heart. So then he used to go and do, the next pattern would be 2 hearts and then a circle. And then this one would be 2 flowers and then 2 hearts. So he would continue the pattern. So that's a good one for learning patterns. Then I picked up these from Dollarama, just on my recent haul. These are bean bags. They were $2 each there, and I thought these would be perfect for just a quick little bean bag toss. We can do, set out 2 buckets, and one bucket could be 10 points, one bucket could be 50 points, and then I could have the pink one, he could have the purple one, or he can have the pink one if he wants. But anyways, and just toss them in the bins and play like a little basket game with those. So I picked those up as like a gross motor kind of activity. Up next, I pulled out some of his like little letters. So I have these ones that came with his little Apple computer. So I'm just gonna get him to, he's only 2, so obviously he doesn't know how to spell yet, but it's just getting him used to the letters and spelling kind of. So we're gonna go LOVE, that spells love, and then get him to pronounce each letter, like pronounce actually the words. And then I also just, if you don't have letters, magnets, you could use these little tiles from the Melissa and Doug tile letter game thing. So just again spell the word love and just go over each letter and say LOVE. Also, this is kind of cool because you can say this is a green L, this is a blue O. So just learning colors too if your kids are younger. Just thought, that would be a quick, fast activity you could do with your children. Up next, I'm going to show you this one. I just kind of created this little box. So I'll show you this activity. So this is a little box I picked up from Dollarama. It was $1. And I punched a hole in the top and kind of just decorated with some washi tape and some heart stickers just to make it a little fancier for Valentine's Day. So I have these little heart shaped, they're like little plastic bead kind of things. So what I could get my son to do is, for a fine motor, is actually you could use tongs or he could use his fingers, but there's 10 of them here. So I just get him to put them in the container, and now the hole is a little bit smaller than these, so he actually has to push them down. So it's also kind of, push them in for his fine motor, develop his fingers. So fine motor skills are like fine motor activities are good to develop the fingers for later on for writing, so, and holding pencils. So that's a fun little activity I came up with. Also, I have this other ice cube tray from Dollarama. So again, it has like the 10 spaces, so he can put them in each little spot. And as we're doing it, we can count each little heart out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on until he gets to 10. So that was a cute activity. Up next are just a bunch of erasers. These ones here were all from like 2 packages from Walmart, and the heart ones were I think from my recent Dollarama haul. So basically the idea of this game is just to mix these all up and get him to actually match the correct ones together. So, you know, like all these hearts go together, all these hearts go together, the ones with the sunglasses. And this is also fun because we can actually talk about what's on here. So this is a heart cactus. This heart has sunglasses, so good for his language skills. We could also say this is a blue dinosaur. This heart has purple on it. So yeah, thought that would be another cute little matching game for him to do. Another little activity for counting is getting a dice. This one had 6 spots, obviously, but I covered one with just a sticker, so it only has 5 spots on it. And I drew this little 5 frame. At the top it says 1 to 5. And I have these little beads again, and the idea is for this game is just to roll the dice. So I landed on 3, is to get him to count out 3 hearts and put them in the little squares. So 1, 2, 3. And then clear the board, and again just roll the dice again. So well, that landed on the 6, but that landed on the 1, so 1, again 2, so then he puts 2, and so on. And you know, just a couple of times rolling the dice. Also, you can make a couple of these for like multiple children, and then you can play a game, whoever rolls the highest number, you know, and then add up all the points after like 5 rounds and see who has the most hearts at the end. So I don't know, just I'm trying to come up with different activities that you can try. This next one is not really an activity, but I found this cute little bell. It says ring for a hug. So I thought this would be good for sensory. When, you know, he hears this bell noise, he can run and just give me a hug. I just thought that would be something fun that we could do. Next, I'm going to show you like a little flower arrangement game I came up with for him. So this is a little flower arrangement activity I came up for him. So he did this one yesterday, so it's all his own design. So this one is done with a tissue box. After the tissue box was finished, I just opened the side and I used one of those floral foam blocks and just slid it right in. It fit perfectly, so it's a good way to recycle a box. So he just stuck all the little flowers in here, and we counted them. We also talked about the different colors of the flowers. So this is like pink ones and some white ones or red ones. Also, if you don't want to make something like this, you can just take an ordinary vase, or in my case I have this glass from McDonald's, it just happens to be red, and just get your child to arrange the flowers in any way that they choose. And you know, it's kind of would make a cute little present. These flowers all came from like the dollar store, and what you call it, I think these ones came from IKEA actually. But yeah, they're just cute. And then, you know, your child could give this to, you know, maybe even their teacher at their daycare or their school, or grandparent, or you know, dads can make them for moms. I don't know, something fun. And also it's kind of a good activity because you could also do this with tongs. You could use tongs to pick up the flowers and put them into the vase. So that's another activity. Thought it'd be fun. So I'll show you what I have next. So up next is another quick like little sensory activity you can do with them. So this one is involving Play-Doh. So I just have some pink one and a red one. And basically the first one is using like heart-shaped cutters. So this one has different shapes on it, but this one has a heart, a large one. I have this other little heart-shaped cookie cutter, and then I have this little larger metal one, and I have a smaller metal one. The 2 metal ones came from, I believe, Bulk Burn. And then also in his shape sorter, he had this heart-shaped one here. So just pull those out so we can roll out some Play-Doh. This also came with some chocolate, so I thought he could mold the Play-Doh in these. Fun, just a sensory activity. And one step further is to actually create something with the Play-Doh. So what I did was, we made this one yesterday. So this is a little chunk of Play-Doh, and I used these little sticker eyes here that I had. I'll show you from the dollar store. And I had these little toothpicks, which I kind of broke down. I just took the peg off and made them a little bit smaller. We stuck them in, and they became like the wings of like a little love bug. So that's another fun little activity you can do. These are the stickers I use. You don't have to use these stickers. You could use just regular googly eyes or draw on the eyes if you want. These stickers were $1.25 from the dollar store, so they had some heart ones in there, so I thought these ones would be cute just to make a couple little love bugs. So fun little activity. Also, we're talking about language. I know these activities are a little mixed up. I should have put them more in order, but I just kind of just pulled a bunch of things together just to show you quickly. So talking about things about Valentine's Day, I just pulled out his flower flashcard. I'll show you that why in a minute. I pulled that one because people give flowers obviously for Valentine's Day. And then this one I pulled out is just the heart, so we can go over these two flashcards, heart and flower. I'll show you why I pulled out the flower one in a minute. Because spring is coming up, we've been talking a lot lately about flowers and how they grow. So, and I also chose this, you can do this activity too. This is the Melissa and Doug shape puzzle thing. So I just have this one, it's flowers. So you can put these little tiles in and just make this little flower. So I thought that would be a fun little puzzle for him to do. And then we could talk about this pot of flowers has 3 flowers in it. This is a flower. This flower is purple. These flowers are yellow with like purple centers. And then I also pulled out this sequencing card puzzle. So this shows like how a flower grows. So it starts with a seed. Then you plant the seed in the pot, and then a flower comes out. But we go into more detail. We've been planting little seeds lately, and I've been putting, showing them how to water the plant. So that's just something else you can add in if you want to add a little science into your activities. You're going to talk about the flowers. When you're doing the flower arranging, you can talk about how flowers grow as well. So I just thought I would throw that in as well. Up next is another sensory kind of activity. So I used some of these water beads. They were purple and pink. They're in here together. They're these little, I don't know if you've seen these before, but there's these little beads, and then once you add water to them, they expand. So they're like used mainly for like flower arranging. But I threw them in this bottle, and inside this bottle I hid 2 of those little red plastic hearts and 3 erasers. They're there, kind of there, and then 1 heart-shaped ring. So I put them in this bottle and with some glitter, and it's just a fun little I Spy kind of game I came up for my son, so he can just look at the bottle and say like how many like kind of greenish hearts are in there, how many red hearts, can you find the ring kind of activity. So sensory bottles are always fun little ideas that you can do with your kids. And kids love making these bottles. Like my son actually helped me pour in the little gel beads in here and added the water to it, and we watched them expand. So that was fun little science experiment we did last Friday. So that's another activity you can do. This next one is for like a practical life activity. So this is serving us like a dessert for Valentine's Day. So, and it's also for counting. I wanted to use real muffins, but I couldn't find any, or little cupcakes. So just pulled out his plastic ones to just show you an example. So I want him to count out 1 cupcake each for us. Then 2 packages of candy each. And then 3 chocolates. So you count 1, 2, 3. So again, just counts them out, 1, 2, 3, and then gives himself and me a little dessert for Valentine's Day. So I thought that would be a fun one. So this next activity is great for visual discrimination. So basically it's just a package of Valentine's cards from the dollar store. And what I want my son to do is, again, you can play this as memory, like flip them over and then try to find your match. But I just want him to simply match like these 2 dogs, ones with the white dog with the gray kitten. This one here, that's pink with the purple heart, like match them together. So get him to do that. And then also I cut 2 in half just to show you, so you can make like a little puzzle game. So these 2 go together, And then these two go together, so you can make like a fun little puzzle game. And then also, if you want to do some like dramatic play stuff, I pulled out his little Fisher-Price mailbox, so you could pretend to mail these. If you don't have something like this that's actually like a mailbox, you can pick up something like this at Dollarama. It's just like a little Valentine's card mailbox. And if you don't have this, you can use a regular box. This is what that box looks like. So again, he could just mail his cards. And this is also good for fine motor. He could also use tongs for these and then count the cards as he puts them in the box. Another option, if you could use any box for this activity, but another option is to reuse your Kleenex box. Again, it has the perfect opening, so you could just stick them in there. So just thought I would share that one with you as well. So I'm gonna make this a part 2 video because my camera's telling me to for my upload, it's just have to cut it here. So I'm gonna make a part 2 and show you some other activities you can do with your children. Thanks a lot for watching part 1, and stay tuned for part 2.